Hey, what's good, y'all? Hope you're doing well and continuing to stay safe. So, many of you know that I've been kind of working on this exam for the last month or two, and I took it last night. Well, not last night. I took it yesterday afternoon, and I'm happy to report that I passed. So, your boy is officially a licensed social worker, and it's just been an amazing ride. I've gone through a lot in my life, and just to see it culminate in what I consider to be the biggest achievement that I've ever had in my life, like it's awesome. Like it feels amazing. I have so much gratitude towards everybody in my life. You know, my parents, my family, my extended family, my friends, my professors, my colleagues, and honestly, you guys too. And I know that sounds a little bit cheesy. I know it sounds a little bit pandering, but I mean that. I mean that shit because if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have had the confidence to do so many things and to just step outside of my comfort zone. And I want to talk a little bit about that today. So we've got a Torch Ice Shard run, and you can thank Mr. Demon Eak. I don't know how to say your name, man, so I'm going to call you Big D. So you can thank Big D for that. He's going to be in the comments. He's in the comments for every single one of my videos. He's always cracking jokes. He's a funny dude. Big D, if you want to post something, like a YouTube channel or like your Twitch or something, post it as a comment and I'm gonna pin it and have everyone come show you some love because I really appreciate this build that you give me because it's amazing. I hope you guys enjoy the clip because this is a pretty wild run. This is a pretty awesome run. But so the first half, I'm gonna talk about the channel and how it's grown and how it's given me a lot of confidence in my life. And the next half of the run is just going to be me talking about the run, your normal kind of clipped run analysis, that sort of thing. So I hope you guys stay for all of it. If you aren't subscribed, feel free to subscribe for more Dead Cells guides, runs, clipped runs, social commentaries, and whatever else I feel like doing. You can subscribe for all of that. You can like the video, share with a friend, and let's get started. So I'm going to take you back to the far, far land of 2018 because that's kind of technically when my first official video was. I mean, so here's the thing, right? Like, I never really intended on doing a YouTube channel. What happened actually was I had Dead Cells for my PS4 and I liked posting on the subreddit and watching other streamers. V.me was the first one I ever followed. I know a lot of you guys are fans of V.me. I am too. And I actually followed him on Twitch and I wanted to do some streaming at the game because, I had beaten 4BC. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do some stuff on Twitch and see how it goes. And I kind of sort of enjoyed it. But it was also at the same time, Twitch is one of those things, like, I feel like I'm talking to myself if I'm streaming in front of nobody, which I guess I'm doing the same thing with YouTube, but, like, people are going to watch it later. And Twitch is one of those things, like, you gotta be there and watch because most people don't watch the VODs or VODs, whatever they're called. Most people don't watch them. I never watch them. So, even my friends will tell me, oh, watch my VOD, and I'm just like, I'll pass on that, man, that's going to take too much time, but, Twitch is one of those things you gotta be there live for, and I didn't really have the patience to do it, so I just kind of put it on the back burner. But then I started watching Doc Firebird a lot, and V had started his YouTube channel right around that point, so I was like, well, why not? Like, let's try this YouTube thing, let's see if it works. And so I wanted to bring something different to the table, so I started doing run analysis. So kind of like what I do with my clipped runs, except a full run. So I would talk over the entire thing, and I didn't have a microphone at the time. Like, I had nothing at the time. Like, real talk, I had nothing. So I had a Mac, and I was just using the Mac microphone, which wasn't bad, to be honest, but it was pretty funny. Like, nobody watched my stuff, but I enjoyed doing it, and it was like kind of an escape from school. And, the social work program, as much as I loved it, was also pretty taxing, and I had a lot of issues in class in terms of, I did good in school. I did really well in school, actually, but I was always just kind of constantly anxious in class and things like that, which is a problem that I've actually since taken care of. But at the time, I was just like, okay, you know what? This is my escape. This is my quote-unquote self-care. So this is something that I'm going to keep doing. And so I started taking it a little bit more seriously. I think a couple people saw a few runs that I had posted. One of them was like my Hokuto's Bow run. Another one was, I believe it was my Curse Sword run. And to this day, it's like the only Curse Sword run that I've ever done. And there's no more, I'm never doing it again. I don't like watching them. I know some people like watching them. I'm not one of those people. So if I don't like the content, I'm not going to make it. So, I mean, that's what you guys got to know about me, is I'm not going to do something that I don't want to do. Which I think you guys already kind of figured that one out. But curse sword runs are one of those things I'm just never going to do. But a lot of people did like it. A lot of people really appreciated it because no one had posted a curse sword run on YouTube since 1.2, and we were on version 1.5 at that point, or at least we were in beta, about to go into the full release. And so I was like, you know what, I kind of have something good with this. I'm able to talk about the runs, at least to some degree, but the problem is, like, I can't talk for a full, like, hour and a half of this run. Like, there's so much dead space, and it's so uncomfortable to watch it. Every now and then, the way YouTube's algorithm works is kind of weird, so if I watch a bunch of Doc Firebird videos, I'll end up with my own videos. And one thing you guys gotta know is I usually don't watch my own stuff. Not for any other reason other than that I just don't want to. So, that doesn't mean that you guys shouldn't, though. You guys should watch all of my content and praise me endlessly. But anyways, so, you know, I knew that it was just not an enjoyable experience. So I was like, okay, I can't remember how I got the idea to do clipped runs. But I decided just to do it all of a sudden, and it worked out because I posted it on Reddit. It was an Assassin's Dagger build, and it did fantastic. And so what ended up happening was that was the most amount of views that I had ever gotten on any of my videos, like by far. Like, I think it doubled my previous best video, and I was like, okay, like let's run with this. Let's do this clip thing from now on. And it was fun for me because, you know, I got to get a little bit better at editing. I got to put in some stuff. Eventually, I got to add some intros. Slickworm Hermstead, if you're watching this, thanks for the idea for the custom thumbnails. I have a lot of fun making those thumbnails. I think I've gotten a lot better at them over the last several months. And this is right around, like, January timeframe of this year. So that shows you, like, how quickly things have just kind of spiraled out of control, if you want to call it that. But, you know, I started doing the clipped runs, and then my Melee tier list actually became my most watched video at that point. And what was funny about that video was I was extremely sick at that time. I don't know what I had. It was some sort of flu. It was really, really bad. And I was recording and my voice was giving out, but I still did it. And that actually enabled me to start doing more and more content because more people were subscribing and I started getting more and more motivation. So around February, I hit that 200 sub mark and I decided, okay, like, let's start doing more stuff with the channel. And this is where, you know, the appreciation that I have for you guys has really come through, because now what I started doing was asking you guys for feedback, asking you guys, you know, what do you want to see me do? And so people like Pixel Dude and Mega Jago and Slickworm Hermstead, like, they were giving me constant feedback, and they're like my OG fans. Like, they were there from the beginning, pretty much. They're the people that I remember from the beginning. So shout out to all you guys. But they were always giving me feedback, asking me to do different runs. And one thing it really helped me with was doing more and more of these commentaries and getting to show more and more of my personality. I got to be less afraid in front of the camera, because if you go back and watch some of my old commentary, there's definitely like a nervousness about it. Even when I started my first social commentary videos, like, I was hella nervous, like, trying to do them. And so the more and more I was doing it, more positive feedback I was getting. Positive feedback for me is more of like constructive criticism combined with compliments. Like, you know, as long as you're like cool about it, like, I'm always up for that constructive criticism. Y'all know me by now, so I'm always up for that. And so it was really cool to just be able to get that constantly. So I got better and better at that public speaking, and then because of that, I got to start experimenting with different things. So now I started doing full runs, then I started doing guides. And shout out to Baho, because Baho was the one who told me to start doing the guides, because she was just kind of giving me ideas, because I was struggling with the channel growth at the time. I think I hadn't even hit 100 yet, and so she told me to do that, and that ended up becoming really, really good for me. My first guide was the blowgun run, and that was awesome. And then I just started doing a bunch of stuff from there, and that's really what got me a lot of my subscribers, was the guides that I started doing. And I had so much fun making them, and even to this day I have fun making them. It just takes a lot of effort. And, you know, and all this comes with school, and, you know, I have 2 jobs at the time, and that's really, really fun for me. Like, you know, I've got this routine down. You know, I'll play Death Cells, I'll do some of these full runs, I'll do some of the clipped runs, I'll do some of the guides, and then, you know, in between all of that, I'm doing that in between all of like my Dead Cell. I'm doing that. I'm sorry. I'm doing all the Dead Cell stuff in between my school and my work. So I had 2 jobs. I had an internship, and then I had school. So obviously I got a lot of things going on, but that's just kind of how I am. I like to be busy, and it was awesome. And then COVID hit, and then I was just like, what the fuck do I do? Because I'm just like, okay, like my normal routine of just being constantly busy is kind of out the window right now. So what do I do? And I just started leaning into this channel hardcore. And so I started posting runs like every single day because of the fact that, you know, we were in quarantine. You know, what else am I going to do? I have to kind of wait to get approved to take this licensing exam. I have to, and school was still going on, but like it's WebEx. You're not going to get much done. So it was like, you know, I might as well just put everything I have into this YouTube channel, and that really allowed me to grow and start experimenting. And that's when I started doing all the social commentaries and stuff like that. And for that to help me as much as it did in terms of getting confident, it really, like, again, like, it helped me with that public speaking. And, you know, more to the point, I could start, like, being comfortable talking to brand new people, trying to, like, have honest conversations with people, being able to take feedback, stuff like that. So once I was able to, you know, do all that stuff, it became like a really, really empowering experience for me. And so, you know, now, you know, I've gotten my license. I had been studying my ass off since early June, late May, around that time frame. So I started really studying my ass off. And that was why I didn't really post much over the last week until like Thursday or something. And that was because like I took my exam on Friday. And I think by Wednesday I decided that like I wasn't studying anymore because there was like, honestly, there was literally no point to studying. So like I had done everything I needed to do. There's not much else that I could do. So it's like, yeah, let's upload some runs again. But then something that ended up happening was, you know, I realized that once I get this license, I'm really not going to be posting as much as I ever did. And it's not because I've lost any love for the channel. You know, I still got a lot of love for you guys. You guys know that. But, you know, just because my career is about to start and I hold a lot of value to that, like, that's, social work is like my passion. That's what I consider like the most valuable thing in my life. You know, I want to make the most of it because I've been through a lot, and I went through a lot moving and, you know, trying to make those changes in my life. So now I get this opportunity, this really awesome, unique opportunity to be able to use my knowledge, use my experiences, and to work with others who are struggling. And that's something that I've always wanted to do. So honestly, this YouTube channel gave me so much confidence. It gave me so much confidence, especially like getting to be open about myself. That was the biggest thing, like getting to be open about mental health, getting to be open about my experiences, even like when it was like stuff that I was doing that was dumb, you know, like complaining about followers, complaining about subs, things like that. Like I could be open and honest, and I could say what's on my mind. So, you know, thank you guys so much for everything. I really appreciate it. Like I can't express enough how much I fucking appreciate all of you. You know, we're gonna keep this going. Obviously, I'm not gonna be uploading every single day from here on out. You know, we got a career going on. But let's get to this run, man. So you've probably seen I've been kind of iffy about it, but this is like the turning point right here. I take a 100% damage taken and given torch. If you've noticed something, I have not gotten hit since the Mama Tick fight. So, and that's gonna continue here. Like, you know, this build is extremely powerful because you're getting those crits with the oil constantly, and it's doing 100% damage to burning oil. You're constantly getting burning oil. And on the Giant, it's a little bit tougher to get that, but, you know, I have nothing to worry about. Like, Giant is not even attacking me. And this is buff Giant, too. Like, this is, like, the best Giant has ever been because his arms, his hands are, they're immune now. So, it's absolutely nuts how much damage I'm doing. I'm just like clearing mobs, clearing biomes, and my movement was really good too. And it's probably because like I had passed my exam already, so like I was completely stress free. So I like don't have to think about anything. I can just do this run and just like not think. But you know, I'm trying to be careful and not take too many hits. You may have noticed that I left a scroll fragment on there. It's because Hype Castle only gives you 2. I missed one. If you remember that Ancient Sewers clip, I missed a scroll fragment because I had gotten hit by those impalers. Like, they were like 2 stacked on top of each other. I'm like, okay, why is that even a generation in this level? But it is what it is. It's a randomized game. That's what happens. And so I left that scroll fragment on there. I was like, okay, I'll come pick this up later. I just need to, get my head back on. I forgot to pick it up, and so I forgot to pick up this other scroll fragment, which meant that I couldn't go to High Peak Castle and pick up more scrolls. So I was like, just make those. I made that mistake, but we're doing so much damage. I don't think it really matters. If I had picked up that scroll fragment in Ancient Sewers, I would have had that extra one from Giant. I would have gone to High Peak Castle, picked up the other 2, gotten another scroll. But it is what it is, right? Like, you can't do anything about it. But we got this Hand of the King fight. I've been clearing out these mobs. My movement's been great, honestly. I don't compliment myself as much as I really should be. And you guys have told me this before. So, I'm complimenting myself now. Like, I think this build is going fantastic. And Big D. I still gotta call you Big D, right? Honestly, dude, like, this is an ace build. Hand of the King is not even touching me. And at least, like, the slowdown isn't too bad against bosses. I tend to struggle with slowdown against bosses because I'm such a timing-based player. So I've gotta, like, be able to do things, like, in a rhythm. And slowing down and freeze kind of messes my rhythm up a lot. So that can be a bit of an issue for me sometimes. I almost instinctively run to the jump on the platform, but I'm able to not do that. I'm able to, like, control myself at the last second. But we're able to get this kill off. Another perfect boss fight. So that's 2 in a row. We only took the 1 hit, and that was because of my own sloppy playing. I didn't roll. I knew that Aura was coming with Tick. Conjunctivious, but I just never saw it, honestly. You can see, like, I'm just, like, blasting elites. There's a mob of 2 failed experiments and a slammer, and I'm not even scared. I'm just go straight up. We're just going body them. This is exactly what we're doing. And this is the thing. I don't show this clip, but I do get hit in this level, but it's by a bomber. And it was just like that little strike that doesn't really do any damage. So I was not worried at all. Like, you can see I'm at 87%. Like, that was all the damage that I took, so it wasn't even a big deal. There was a food drop that I never even bothered to take because I was at full health this whole time. I do take it after I beat up on these birds. And, like, even here, like, I'm fighting these 2 elite slammers straight up, and I'm at ×2 damage. Like, that just goes to show, like, how confident that I was in this build at this point. And I built it around 2 excellent skills in Fire Grenade and Oil Grenade. And so one thing to note as you watch this collector fight is, why did I go for Fire Grenade over the Flame Turret? And the reason was, Fire Grenade does not aggro enemies, but Flame Turret does. And so that's incredibly important to note. When you are dealing with mobs, Fire Grenade is actually a little bit better, in my opinion, than Flame Turret. For bosses, Flame Turret is better. But, I have this Fire Grenade. It's doing great. I have a level 12 Fire Grenade. I'm just going to stick with it. All of my items are level 12 because I was able to pick up everything while I was in caverns. So, I almost messed myself up against this Shield Bearer because first of all, I didn't know it was a Shield Bearer that was going to pop up. I throw those bombs in specific spots so that I can start getting some damage off very quickly and not have to deal with these enemies. But Shield Bearers can be a little bit tricky. But the slowdown is kind of like making me panic a little bit because he goes for that downward little laser thingamajig, and those are scary because they're very timing based. So slowdown to speed up tends to be a bit of a problem with that attack, but I'm able to get through all of it, and we have him on 3 heals, and so the next heal that he does is going to be dropping the Panacea, so we're just going to keep attacking as much as we can. This stab attack is scary because you have to roll towards him, and if you make a mistake, if you make one mistake, you are getting hit by the rest of his stuff. So it's kind of a scary fight, to be honest, but since 1.9 beta hit, I've actually been getting more and more comfortable with this, and you also may have noticed that I opted for the different shop categories now, the way it used to be. And I'll talk about that when we finish off Collector, but Collector's just delaying this fight, he's just, he's delaying the inevitable. And so I go 1, 2, and then he just jumps up, and then I get the kill. With perfect Collector as well, so that's 3 no hits on bosses, and then we only took the 1 solitary hit against Conjunctivious. And that it was an incredible run. Like, Big D, shout out to you, man. That was a great run. Great build. Thank you for showing me that. I really appreciate that, man. Like, and if you got any builds that you want to see me try out, like, leave a comment. That's the stuff that I absolutely live for, because stuff like this is fun for me. Survival builds, not a huge fan, but I can make them work. But the stuff like this, that's just like dual binding, I've never done it before. That's awesome. And one of my favorite things about this run was that I got to experiment with the dual bindings. Like in the beginning, I had torch and ice shards in that order. And then at some point in the run, I switched it around to having ice shards and then torch. And that really changed the landscape because that allowed me to get more hits off with the ice shards. That was really cool. And double binding is all about where to put your weapons. Where's your main hand? Where's your second hand? What do you prefer? What makes your build? What makes it optimal? And that was really cool to experiment with. So thank you for that. And honestly, thank you guys for just the continued support over the last several months. Like, it's a crazy experience, man. And now that I've got this license, as for like the upload schedule and stuff, you know, obviously it's going to change. I'm not going to be uploading as much. That just kind of comes with the territory of like starting a career. But, you know, I'm still going to be around. I'm going to still try to post one clipped run and one regular run a week. I try to put in a social commentary once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. And then I'll put a guide out whenever I feel like it. The next guide I'm going to be doing is the new War Javelin. I haven't decided if I'm doing that soon or if I'm doing that when 1.9 releases. I haven't decided yet. Leave a comment if you want me to release it now, and then I'll start working on it, and it'll take like a week or so. Man, we got the bus outside. We got all the cars outside right now. It's 3:38 in the morning. I don't know why there's a bus. Buses should not be running right now, but nah, but for real, like, this channel is awesome, like, and it's because of you guys. Like, you guys make this channel, for real. Like, you know, I said this before, but I don't deserve the community that I have. You can do all the right things and still end up with the shitty community, but for me, like, I got lucky. I ended up with just an awesome community, awesome and supportive, and just genuine, empathetic, just really, really chill people. So, thank you guys so much for sticking with me throughout this entire thing. I really appreciate you all taking time out of your day to watch my content. I say that all the time, and I mean it every single time. It really does mean a lot, and I love to see that number grow. So if you want to subscribe for more Dead Cells content and social commentaries and clipped runs and guides and whatever else I feel like doing, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Stay safe, everyone, and I'm out.